Hello, today I would like to talk about how to transition from one state to another, and more particularly in the case of a project you want to launch. A transition is basically passing from one state to another, to one energy to another. And transitions, transformations, and so on are not very comfortable usually. It can lead to a lot of frustrations. It's heavy often. It doesn't have to be like that, but it can be. The most important when you're in a transition is accepting that you are in a transition period. You are shifting from one energetic state to another energetic state. And you have to accept that the polarities in a way are changing, like as if a battery changed from plus to minus. A transition can last for a day, it can last for a week, it can last for a month, it can last for a year, or even many years. I hope for you it won't last for many years because heck, it's painful. The longer the transition will take, and the more emotions you are going to go through, which makes sense. So, transitioning is going to take time, it's going to take energy to match with that new reality you want to be in. And you cannot expect this to happen like this. It's going to ask for patience and for acceptance of the stages you are going to go through while you transit to that new state. When you try to shift your energy from state A to state B, depending on where you are at now, state A, it's going to take more or less time to reach the energetic vibration of state B that you want to reach. So, my big message today is to be patient with yourself, to be loving, and to go through the process taking the time it needs. Keeping in mind that you want to reach state B. Your state B is your aim in a way. But let the time that the energy shifts. If you are too brutal in that energy shift, you are going to harm yourself. You're going to harm your environment, very probably as well. The big thing is to respect that it's going to take some time. Another thing that is very important when you are transitioning, what helped me the most was to do things that bring me to that energetic state. By doing, I'm meaning doing anything you love that leads you to that state. Don't start with the final aim. For example, if you want to build a new business and you want to be self employed, don't look at what you want at the very end. It takes years to reach your vision of what you want at the very end. Start small, take small steps, and forget a bit about the final aim you have. The most important is that you start with anything. If you want to run your own business, you are perhaps already thinking about the logo, about the website, about the clients you want to get. I mean, you are, by the way, a lot of people tell you this on the internet. You have already to do the analysis of the market and stuff like that. And it honestly, it leads nowhere for me. The only thing that will lead you somewhere is what do you want? Where do you want to go? And actually go for it. That's the big thing. Just start small. You can start with friends. I mean, just start. The aim is doing things that allow you to progressively shift into that new reality. Don't expect like to directly shift in the new reality. The most important is passing from one state to another, doing something. I saw a lot of people, they didn't even have started the project. They're already thinking about how they're going to earn money, how they're going to be paid, what is their client base. They already think about their logo. I mean, they do a huge thing, sorry, as if they were Amazon, Google, or Apple. And I think that's something that is going to be very depressing. I would say Why do you want to transition from state A to state B? That's the big question. The why. Why are you doing this? Is it to be perhaps more happy, more joyful in what you do and how you live? For me, if you want to transition from state A to state B, it's to have an improvement, obviously. That's the why. And I think it's very important that you write somewhere your why. Why do you want to go there? And if in the process you catch yourself going for things, doing things that don't feed that why and that don't bring actually a real improvement in your life, in your well-being, I mean, why are you going there? If anyway, it's just about having hard times, difficulties, headaches, and thinking about what your potential clients, when you don't even have one client, how can you know what clients you have when you haven't even one client? The process has to be gradual and you have to respect the stages. You have to respect that you are going to be frustrated because in the beginning you are going to work for nothing. And you know what? That's going to last for a year or two. So if for a year or two you have already established a structure like Amazon or I don't know what, and actually nothing works in a way, nothing brings money, or you don't have a lot of clients, you're going to be depressed. Keep in mind that if you want to start such a huge project as a business or a career change, it's going to take time. Your aim day by day is to focus on that energy shift. What is the energy you are emanating, you are having inside of you when you are in the new project? You are not at the end. You are not at the final vision of the project you have. But just imagine you are already doing it on a daily basis. You are investing time in that new project. How are you feeling? And your only aim in the beginning of a transition period is to match with that energetic vibration of that project lives in my life. It lives, it has a space in my life as my friends have, as my self-care has. And what space are you giving to that project? And when you give that space, what energy are you feeding? Are you feeding an energy of, I have to do it, it's an obligation, it's a burden, basically the state you want to escape from? I mean, don't take that state you want to escape from with you. If you want to launch a business, launch a project, the most important is really to focus on how you feel. How do you feel when you do X, Y, or Z? And start with the things you prefer doing. When you want to transition from one state to another, it's really about taking it step by step. Forget about the final vision, forget about everything you think you should do, and just do what you feel you need to do. What makes you feel good and makes you want to invest more time in this project. If you put yourself too much constraints, too much pressure, let's say you have 1 hour per day for that project, and every day during that hour you are just stressing yourself, you are doing things you don't really like what's my client base, is that really interesting? I mean, sorry, for me that's not really interesting, that's not why I would like to launch a project. Do you really want to care about how you're going to be paid? If you launch a new project, if you want to go for a new project, isn't it because you want to do something you love? So start with this, do something you love, and deal with the frustration, because you will have to, of actually wanting to start and not being anywhere. Like, it's a huge frustration to wanting to start something and you actually don't really start because you're just doing things you love, like that are not useful to you in your mind, but what those things are doing, they are participating to that energy switch. If you focus on switching your energy and on doing it with love, with feeding yourself with something you love and doing something you love, you will actually one day wake up and bam, you will just be in the thing without even noticing. And then you will look back and you will be there, heck, the transition is finished. But the day it happens, you won't even notice it. You will notice this a month later, weeks later, you would be there. Hey, actually, wait, I'm there. I'm in the project. I'm not at the end of the project, but the transition period is done. And as I said, this transition period can last for a year. And for a year, you are just investing time doing something you love. So it's not a lost year. You did things you loved. But while you are doing it, because you have in mind that you want to reach that goal, or you want to already start the project, be in the project, I don't know, launch a YouTube channel, and you're like, oh heck, I still haven't launched my YouTube channel, still haven't done this, I still haven't done that. I mean, who cares? Perhaps you need time. Perhaps you need time to just transition from one state to another. So be patient with yourself and don't let your dreams die because of impatience and frustration. It would be so sad. I mean, the world wants to see your project. Your dreams deserve to become true. And for this, there is that damn transition period that is really, really, really not pleasant. So, if any of you are going through a transition period and you're blaming yourself because you're still not starting the thing, or you're procrastinating or stuff like that, I think first of all, accept your frustration, accept that there is a time of switching your energy, and the more you are blaming yourself, the more you are judging yourself harshly, the longer it will take, the less you are going to vibrate as you need to vibrate to be in the project, not to start the project, to be in the project. There is starting a project, there is being in the project, and then there is making the project evolve. And those are three different stages. And starting a project is very subtle. Just sitting every day or every week in the beginning, who cares? But investing time regularly on a regular basis in your project, you actually already started your project without noticing. Going into that transition period, into that transformation, into that switch of energy, just starting this, going into this, you have already started your project, but you don't see any result. And we are often based on the results. And don't blame yourself for that. But please start. Just take time to do things you love about that project. That's how you're going to switch. And that's where you want to go, basically. That's what's going to bring improvement. Really take the time to go through that transition and see it as a shift in energy. And it will take the time it takes. And I guarantee you, one day you will wake up and you will be there, heck, I'm actually doing my project. I'm in. And you won't be able to really say it started then. The only thing you will perhaps remember is the day you decided that you want to go towards that project, that energetic state. It's the only thing you will remember. But you won't remember when it really started. You won't be able to say, hey, it's this that kick-started the thing. And I think it's very beautiful because it respects a natural flow. Don't force things. Things happen when they have to happen. And if you are not ready now, well, you know what? You're not ready now, but you're ready to take a first step, which is starting to do something you really like, something you really love. And you know what? Perhaps while doing what you love, your project, your end vision of the project at least, will perhaps even change. So don't try to go directly for that end vision you have. Just start to go towards that new energetic state, that new feeling you want to have on a daily basis. And feed that. Do everything you can to go towards that. And you will see, you will learn a lot about yourself, about how you deal with frustration, about how you deal with patience, about how it's hard to do something you really love just because you love it and with pure love. Not because you are obliged, not because you should do this and this and that, just because you love it. I really encourage anyone, if you have a dream, if you actually, even if you don't have a dream and you just want to go towards something new, I mean, start today just doing something that you love, really. Invest 1 hour doing something you love. You will see how uncomfortable it can be, for perhaps not for everybody, but it can be very uncomfortable. Like, you're there like, what am I going to do, like, and what do I do now? I mean, start with this. If you want a change, start with this. And the more you're going to do that, the more you're going to attract that. And you are going to create a dynamic in your life that will lead you progressively to that new state. I mean, honestly, even if I wish you to be right now in that new state, I actually hope you won't, because the change can be so dramatic, so harsh, that it could harm you. So please go for your dreams. Really, that's, we have only one life. And as long as your dreams, your projects don't harm anyone, I mean, go for them. But accept the transition period that is going to happen before you are in the project, and accept that actually starting a project won't be as you can imagine it is. Just go towards, I am in my project. I am somewhere. I'm not at the end of it. I'm not at the start of it. I'm just in the project. Start with this. All this to say that transitions can be very beneficial for you. Very, very beneficial if you know how to use it, how to benefit from it. And the best way is just to accept that you're in a transition, that it's uncomfortable, that you are neither in place A, neither in place B, but that you're switching from one place to another. Again, I'm not giving advices here, I'm just giving my opinion. I hope that this helps one person in this world. It would be amazing. And I thank you for your attention, and I wish you an amazing day or night, and I see you soon. Bye.